All right, how we doing, everyone? Trevor here, Tag Performance and Nutrition. I'm back on another Sunday morning. Actually, nice sunny Sunday morning here in Wisconsin. Actually, been kind of warm the last few days. I guess warm for us. I think it was like 50 yesterday, but today is went out for a nice hour and a half long walk. Got like 12,000 steps in already, which is always a good way to start your Sundays. Get a lot of steps in, especially when the sun's out in the middle of winter here. But and kind of want to get back into another simple Sunday habit, simple Sunday tip to help you build a lean, jacked, athletic body that you is capable of doing all things in life you want. Whether that's still playing sports as you get older, whether that's just being able to play with the kids, whether that's just being able to get off the toilet and climb the stairs and tie your shoes without a lot of pain. This is for you. You're in the right place, and hopefully, my content, my videos, my programs, my coaching can help you with that. And that's what it's here for, to help you, again, be that everlasting athlete, be athletic for life. And today we're going to talk a little bit about training and a simple tip for your training and how to be consistent with it, because that is one of the biggest things I see with people is they aren't consistent. Again, consistency is a gift and a curse. Consistent with the good habits leads to good results, leads to things you want, leads to feeling good, looking good, moving well. Consistency in the bad habits leads to where I was: fat, out of shape, lazy, no energy, low testosterone. Maybe you're there, broken down, beaten up. Maybe you're there right now. A lot of aches, a lot of pains, all that stuff. Can't get up the stairs without the knees just screaming for help, clinging onto that railing with that death grip. Can't get out of this off this couch without grabbing onto something to pull yourself up. That's not where we want to be. We want to be athletic. We want to be able to do all the things in life we want, we enjoy, we love. That's what it's about. Living the best life and living the healthiest life. And a simple way to stay consistent with your training is just find a training plan that fits your schedule, that fits your lifestyle. You see it too often. You want to train a certain amount of days, but you don't have that much time. You want to train an hour every day, but you don't have an hour every day. You got kids, you got family, you got a job, you're running here and there, you're all over the place. And it's just not going to fit, because then you do too much and then you fall off. Or you're consistent for a little bit and then you fall off. You got to find what works best for your lifestyle, your situation, because we're all different. Yes, most people need a lot of the general things that some form of athletic work, the sprinting, the jumping, the plyos, the skipping, hopping, crawling, all that, the fun stuff. You need some of the strength work. You need to lift heavy. You need to lift weights fast. You need to control tempos. You need some ISOs in there. You need all this stuff. But all this stuff fits, but it needs to fit your lifestyle. It needs to fit your schedule, your availability, what you have available. A story I always share about this is I had a guy come in who wanted to train 7 days a week. You need to meet, again, and this is about meeting yourself where you're at. And I asked, well, when's the last time you trained? And he said, I don't know, never. So why would you think you could come in and train 7 days a week if you've never trained? And then we come in the first day, and we're going through a very general, very low intensity, just little few movements, things like that, some crawls, that type of stuff, getting on and off the ground just to warm up. And he's out of breath. And I said, that's why we can't go 7 days a week right away. You're not ready for it. And that's okay. That's fine. You got to meet yourself where you are. Because we eventually settled on 2 days a week. Or no, I think it was 3. Because he was just adamant. And I didn't want to take his money to just take his money. But he ended up not showing up to half of his stuff because so many other issues. But again, you got to meet yourself where you're at. You can't come in and wanting to train 5 days a week, balls to the wall, if you've never trained 5 days, if you haven't trained in 5-10 years, and you probably don't need to go balls to the wall 5 days a week anyway. Maybe some light general movement, some walking, And maybe it's not even we start with training. Maybe it's not even going to start with lifting. Maybe we start with just some walking, get you moving a little bit, and things like that. So the simple tip is just your training has to meet your schedule. If you only have an hour a day, 4 days a week, you don't need to do 6 days a week. Or if you only have 20 minutes a day, and maybe it's 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, rather than 3 1 hour long sessions or something like that. You got to fit it to your schedule. Or maybe it's having adjustability where you can split it up, break it up into during the day where you're breaking up into smaller sessions. Again, everything's got to be fit into you, your lifestyle, and then your situation as well. If the program calls for barbell work, but you don't have access to a barbell, then what the heck are you doing that program for? You need a program that can fit, whether maybe it's dumbbells or you just got a few things at home. Like during COVID, we had to work around everything because everyone had to work in home. And we just had guys just training with one dumbbell or using their animals or milk jugs as weights or towels as for iso holds and things like that. So it's got to meet your lifestyle. It's got to fit your lifestyle, your schedule, and allow you to do the things in life outside of that too, because you got to live life too. You can't just you're probably not a pro athlete where your job is literally to train for hours and hours a day. Most people don't have that access, although it'd be nice. But making sure it's fitting your lifestyle, fits your schedule, fits your situation where you're at. And these things can change too. It doesn't mean right now when you're just starting out, yeah, maybe it's 2 days a week, maybe it's 3 days a week. But then you get going and you go 4 to 5 and you're just feeling better. You got more time, or during the summer, maybe you're a teacher or something. You got more time available, that type of thing where you can train more, or whatever it is. The kids aren't as busy or something like that. So you can adjust. It's not like it's set in stone, but it has to fit where you're at that moment in life and that schedule in life as well. So make sure training fits your lifestyle, because you could have the worst plan ever, but if you're consistent with it, you're probably going to see decent results. Whereas if you're not consistent in doing it, you're not going to see results. Back to you go in hard, balls to the wall that first day, and you're going heavy on squats or whatever, but you haven't squatted ever, and then your legs are so sore you don't train for 2 more weeks after that because you're so sore you can't get up the stairs. Again, we can't have that. We got to be smart about it, but we want to obviously, yes, you can train hard and smart. Everyone says train smart, not hard. No, you got to train. You got to do both. You need both. It's the smart part is figuring out where you're at, figuring a plan that fits your lifestyle, fits your schedule, and then going from there. Plugging and playing the exercises, that type of stuff, the methods, the sets, the reps, all that stuff. But again, training has to meet you where you're at in each situation, and knowing that it can adjust as you go through life, each season, each month, each year, whatever it may be. So meet yourself where you're at. Fit it to your schedule. Training has to fit your schedule, because if it does, if it fits your lifestyle, you're going to be more consistent with it. You're going to stick with it a long term. And again, you can adjust this as it goes. And you should. You're probably not going to stick with a certain schedule all the time, because that can get boring too, unless your life never changes. And if you're not changing, you're not growing. And growth is a good thing. So tip of the day, make sure your training fits your lifestyle, fits your schedule, because then you're going to stick with it. You're going to be consistent, and you're going to be able to make the progress that you want. That's what we have for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully keep these simple Sundays kind of short and quick, and get you some ideas that you can start implementing in your life to help you become an everlasting athlete and be athletic for life. So thanks for watching. We'll be back with more soon. Have a great day, guys.